Hi everyone, this is Dave, DREBG, coming to you on Wednesday, March 3rd around noon, New York time. What you're looking at are a couple of different charts that I have that I used this morning to help me make a trade that didn't get filled, and I'm very upset, because it worked out great. Let me show you what I mean. If you look on the left-hand side, you'll see the MetaTrader platform that I use to actually make the spot Forex market trades. And at the bottom here, you'll see the order number and the date and time, 8:30 this morning roughly, full lot, blah, blah, blah. And then way over here, you'll see the corresponding volume and whatnot, which we'll go over in a minute. I just point this out in my ledger of MetaTrader Forest that you can recognize that you can see the order number here and the buy limit order is still open because it didn't get triggered, but that I did indeed place the trade at 8:30 this morning. I bring it up because I just want to, let people know that I'm not looking back on these charts and trying to come up with a video. I'm actually kind of making sure that I look and see what the market's giving me and try to make a video as soon as I can, if not live, but it hasn't always worked out that way. But anyway, you'll see here that you'll see why I'm so ticked off. But anyway, so to begin, if you look at the TOS platform over here, you'll see that, let me get rid of this Google thing. Okay. You'll see that I have a Fibonacci analysis that I ran on this run-up here. And this run-up was basically from yesterday's price action. And I had run it because obviously this spike here in volume is pretty large. And if I blow it up a little bit, you can see that the candle was a pretty nice hammer on very high volume relative to what had been going on. And I had meant to come back to it and maybe take a trade after a retrade, which would have been great here. But I never got around to it. I got caught up in the euro-dollar trade yesterday, and it just didn't come to fruition, and no real reason why. But when I woke up this morning, this is price action early morning, late last night. And then when I woke up and opened up the computer, this is pretty much where I was, right in here around 7, 8 o'clock this morning. And what I saw was this somewhat consolidation area right here after this big run-up candle here. And again, this can be another trade where you looked at it, saw there's a big candle on fairly good volume, and wait for a pullback and then got long on some fib. This is probably a 50% or so fib on up here. That probably would have worked out well, but I didn't see that. I wasn't awake. But I did see a few things. This is a nice shooting star here, and just some, futzing around, if you will. And when I caught this candle here, it just showed me that there's some selling and some buying going on because it's fairly large volume, and it's got wicks on both ends of the candle. And then I had this shoot up right here, right up to this level again. And I felt that it would probably be a good thing to take this long because, as you can see from the original Fibonacci analysis, the fib targets are way up here on the larger time frame. I think I made this on the 30 or 1 hour time frame. And it still had some room, but it needed to go through this consolidation phase here first. So right here where the pink ellipse is in this arrow that I made, even though, I'm going to make this a little larger here, even though this is a pretty heavy-duty hammer right here, the volume isn't greater than it was before, and again, this is only a 15-minute chart, so I'm not putting a lot of onus on it, but right here is where I made my decision that I'm going to wait for price action to come back to this support level, grab some more demand, and then ride it up to these Fibonacci levels, in this case between the 123.8 and the 382, because that's typically what I've been doing. So when I go back to the MetaTrader platform, you'll see that the same chart is here, and there's a few things that I want to point out. This is, again, the 15-minute chart, and I'll take out this fib for right now, just so we can see things better. And you know what? I'll even take out the pivots for today to make it cleaner. The X's you see are crosses of MACD. You know what? I'll even take that out because it's not really important for right now because I didn't even use it. Didn't even bother looking at it. I didn't have to. So what we're left with here is a nice clean chart that shows us the order entry, which is here, this circle here that I've made, and when I made it, around 8:30 this morning. I made a limit order to come down here, catch this support level, and then go up. So when I zoom in on a 5-minute chart and blow it up just a little bit, you'll see a little more of what I'm trying to talk about. Here's the ellipse that I drew. This is the time frame that I was looking at. I was looking at the 5 minutes of where I wanted to get in. And as price kind of consolidated a little bit, I'll make this a little smaller again. Sorry. I can make this, there it is. Price is kind of consolidating here a little bit on the 5 minute, and this is what I was seeing. I saw this run up, and I did see how it ran up and got rejected, and then my assumption here was that it was going to run up, get rejected again at this level, because obviously if we draw a line here, this is fairly good resistance, right? It's only a 5 minute chart, but still this is fairly good resistance for the time frame we're looking at. And when we look at it, price action did come back down. Didn't get all the way. I thought that it's not going to trigger, no big deal. It's going to be on its way, and that's the way it was, no big deal. Well, in fact, it found some more resistance here. It came back down, and oh, look at this. Just look at this. Freaking tick me off to no end. So here's this red candle. Do you see way down? I can't point to you, obviously, but if you look way down at, can you even see it on your screen? No, you can't. I don't have it so you can see it, but this bottom part of this wick came down to 150.302. Well, my entry was 5030 even. So, 0.2 of a pip plus a spread, but whatever. The point is, it just really ticked me off because this is a great level to get long. It seemed to make sense in the larger grand scheme of things. When we look at even the 1 hour chart, we'll see what we were talking about. We draw a fib stack in. This is where we drew the fibs from here to here. And I just put my target in between these two fib targets. This level that I have, the reason I have it here also, is that when you look at this, even on a daily time frame, and we make it smaller, that line, let me take that line out that we drew, or that profit target is a fairly good level for support and resistance. And I figured at that level we'd have some supply, and that would be over, and that would be a good place to put the run. So, zooming back down to the 15-minute chart, you'll see that when we ran the fibs, we hit this 50, ran up. I wasn't awake for any of this. We woke up this morning looking at this. This is a pretty big hammer candle here, and when we looked over at the TOS platform, that same candle, again, was here. And it looks pretty ominous, but it didn't bother me so much necessarily because I thought we still had some run up, some run down before we could have a run up to gain some more momentum. So since it was just a limit order and it was below where we were here, if it kept taking off from here, so be it. I wouldn't have get filled, and that's it. No big deal. But the fact that it came right down to where I wanted it to, and then now price action is almost at my target, just really kind of gets me going. It's just one of those things. It was a good trade. Had it actually gotten filled, then I wanted to share it. I wish it had, because we're looking at a 70 pip run up, and the stop loss is about 60 pips back below the 50 and below these candles here from the retrace of the larger move. One thing that I probably should have jumped in, but I decided not to because it's not always good to do that. Even if you should have been right, if it didn't get to where you wanted it to go, just let it go. And that's pretty much what I ended up doing.